Yo, what up, boys? There's a reason why I'm making this video today. I'm not really sure what this is titled, but this is essentially my entire complete thoughts on 3.0 Honkai Star Rail as a whole, and there is a reason why I've waited very long to make this video. Number one, I didn't want to do any knee-jerk reactions, but I really just wanted to know how I felt about it, my desire meter towards Honkai Star Rail, every implementation of the game, as well as me watching tens upon at least 30, 40, 50 hours of other streamers playing the game, seeing the end game, watching the story, yeah, and just seeing everything the game had to offer, not via me playing it. My experience with the Honkai Star Rail story is I'm about 6 or 7 hours into it, with the end being nowhere near in sight. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about it. And another big reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I'm banning Mr. Pokey from reacting to this. I'm banning him from talking about it, tweeting about it, interacting with this video in any way, shape, or form, because if he does react to this or talk about it, he's a hypocrite. And this is very important to me to do, because yesterday he said that he would not be participating in any war activities whatsoever. And before, I had a call with him where he said that he wouldn't do one thing, and the next day he did that exact thing. So I wanted to put this out right now. I think it'd be a good opportune time to just say, Pokey, it is time to change and grow as a person. You are not the warmonger that you pretend to be. You cannot handle the heat, so stay out of the kitchen and leave that shit to the big boys, okay? Leave that shit to me. Okay, so we're going to talk about everything involving Honkai Star Rail 3.0, and we are going to get really, really, really deep into it. Full disclosure, in case you don't know, I've played Honkai Star Rail every single patch since release. I've played every single one. I even played the beta, played from Belobog, Zhanzhou Luofu, Penacony, even to the Rappa Banana Times, to now where we are now at currently, which is Amphorus. So here's the thing. I play many other gacha games. I play Wuthering Waves. I play Sunless Zone Zero, Cookie Run Kingdom, Arknights, Alone, Summoner's War, Epic 7. I've pretty much played every single gacha game that there pretty much is on Earth until I deem them not worthy enough of my time, which really sucks because there are games that bounce back from a bad game state like Nikke. I think Nikke's launch was fucking terrible. It was very gated. It was very pay-to-winny, but they fixed that very shortly after. Unfortunately, I'd already quit the game, and now quitting Nikke is one of my biggest regrets because the game is fucking amazing. And it really breaks my heart. Maybe I'll go back one day. But enough about that. Let's just talk about Honkai Star Rail. So Honkai Star Rail 3.0 recently released, where now we are going to Amphorus, the land of gods. Feels very Greek mythology-esque with characters like Phynon, Maide, Tribi, Castorus, and thank God March 7th isn't here because she has a tummy ache, so we won't be having to experience her mentally deranged, mentally handicapped, full-blown autism the entire fucking trip, but unfortunately we still have to deal with Don Hung's emo ass. I think the biggest issue that I'm having with Honkai Star Rail, and I want to say this is not going to be a positive video, this is going to be a very negative video, because I feel like Honkai Star Rail 3.0 is a very negative update for me. I cannot tell you how to feel. I cannot tell you how you should think about a game. I can only tell you why I feel a certain way and explain to you why I feel that way. I have had very little enjoyment in Honkai Star Rail. I have had very low desire to play Honkai Star Rail, and I think I have been conditioned to not enjoy the game of how I used to enjoy it. Now, I will say at a time, Honkai Star Rail was my #1 gacha game, which felt very good. Belobog was amazing. Bits and pieces of Zhanzhou Luofu were amazing. And even the start of Penacony, I enjoyed quite a bit. But I do think Penacony is where things started to go wrong. And what do I mean about things are starting to go wrong? Okay. So I am at the part of the story for 3.0 where we get introduced to Aglia, and she's showing us the cosmos and the symbols and the wars and explaining the gods. And then, you know, she was punishing us for revealing the truth to the people who weren't supposed to know that there was more that exists outside of Amphorus. And I thought that was very cool. And then Tribi said, if she was ever going to hurt you, I would have stepped in. But I feel like a lot of the things that happened in that HSR 3.0 story were very cool. However, getting there takes so long. It's absurd. There's a lot of characters who are yapping way more than they should, and that's even me playing in JP speed reading it. In case you guys don't know, I was Shenandoah County 3rd grade simple math champion, as well as speed read champion in 4th and 5th grade. I read quite quickly, and I retain quite a lot. It's just always been something that I've been good at ever since I was a child. But the story is just so much, and I agree. If you are enjoying that, it's great, but I'm having a hard time being invested in the story. And the reason why I'm having a hard time being invested in the story is because if you really think about it, nothing ever really happens. And I want to explain, what do I mean by that? Belobog was essentially the best Honkai Star Rail has ever been. And that was 1.0. The story of the rich versus the poor, the strugglers versus the thrivers, and trying to take the underdogs and have them defeat a dynasty, to which they do, and then they kill Bronya's mother, Kokolia, who was a character put in the position that I would actually care about. But now the problem is, ever since then, Zhangzhou Luofu was, Ting Yun died. No, she didn't. Adventurines died. No, he didn't. You know, oh, all these characters are going to die. No, they didn't. Oh, and the characters that do die, nobody fucking cares. Okay? Nobody gives a fuck about Gallagher. Nobody gives a fuck about little short blue hair guy. No real characters ever feel like they're in any danger whatsoever. Same thing with Firefly. Firefly's gonna die. She has cancer. Firefly died. No, she didn't. And it's just like, how am I supposed to get invested into the story when I know there's no real danger amongst anybody who I really give a fuck about? And it's a shame, because I want to buy into the story. I want to buy into the impending doom, but at the end of the day, I always know that this is a gacha game. These characters are going to sell, and any 5-star limited unit is in no danger whatsoever. Now, am I saying that the games need to kill characters to make their game good? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, don't tease it so much, because we know it's never going to happen. And I understand. Guys, did you know in Honkai Impact 3rd that Himiko died? Wow. And what impactful character on the same level of Himiko has died since then? There's a reason that shit happened 8 years ago, and now it's still the only thing that people fucking talk about, saying, this guy doesn't know about Himiko. So why isn't there a plethora of names at this point? That one moment that people have been holding on to for that long, there has been no significant playable character that has died since fucking Himiko. Senora died. We all know she's coming back. She's also a villain. Kokolia died, and that was cool, but I don't feel any pressure on any playable character that I have ever being in any real danger. Like, I want to make sure you guys understand this. People think Tepe is an impactful death. The NPC that we knew for 3 hours. Wow, dude. Wow, dude. That's crazy. And I'm glad that so many people don't even know who the fuck that is. I can't really buy in to the drama of which they're selling of, this character's in so much danger. When it's like, okay, well, who really cares? I mean, fuck. Dan Heng died and he came back as Super Saiyan 3 Dan Heng. And now he's still just chilling, walking around. It makes me struggle to really get invested, because the game tries to sell you on the dangers of the world, the dangers that the characters are going to be in. But at the end of the day, I always know they're going to be fine. And if I know the character is going to be a new character that you're going to play, I always know they're going to be fine. So it's like, maybe we move away from that type of storytelling, because I just kind of just don't care about it anymore. It's also very frustrating whenever I play the Honkai Star Rail story, and it kind of feels like 90% of it is just pointless yapping, and then, wow, look at that one really cool trailer, and everybody else just turns a blind eye to the hours of monotony that they had to sit through and suffer through. It also really bothers me where this trope of good or bad guy turns good guy, and that's cool, but like, Sunday's arc really just made no sense to me in Penacony. It was, man, there's this really bad guy. He's fucking over everybody. He's treating everybody like shit. Oh, but he said he was sorry. So let's forgive him. And let's also not forget that Firefly has done countless atrocities, and now she's just, well, isn't she so cute though? And it's just very frustrating because I'm trying to get invested into these characters, but I feel like the only character that I actually have an investment in is Welt. And I think Welt is a perfect character. I do. I think Welt is fucking fantastic. But the problem is when Welt's not on the screen, it's like, well, what the fuck? And the same thing with Sparkle, where it's like, oh, Sparkle has these nuclear bomb. Sparkle has this massive impending explosion, and it's gonna fuck over everybody in Petacone and kill everyone. Oh, it was just fireworks. Oh, it was just fireworks. It was just a prank. She was just being a silly. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, that's great, I guess. But yeah, that's why I'm really having a problem with the stories, because there's a lot of drawn out meandering. I know nobody's ever really in danger, and it just kind of doesn't feel worth my time. You know what really sucks is that I actually really enjoyed meeting My Day. I thought My Day and Finon's dynamic was really cool. I thought Castor's lore, where you can't even touch her or you die, that's the girl that I want to fuck. Just call it a day. Tribby, surprisingly to me, I actually like quite a bit. I thought she was very cute. I like how she has 3 different versions of herself. She's like the Powerpuff Girls all in one. And I like how she was willing to fight for me in case someone was wronging me. But at the end of the day, I just really hate talking to these child characters. So the story, I'm having a hard time getting invested because I know nothing really is ever going to change. Now let me continue on towards the combat. The combat, I think, has been getting progressively worse every single patch. And that's really a shame, because when I first started the game, it really felt like, okay, I'm going to try to make these characters mix and match. I'm going to mix and match whoever I need to beat whatever enemy obstacle is put ahead of me. And it felt like I was fighting an enemy. It felt like I needed to learn the mechanics and respond accordingly. So I would think, okay, Kokoli is out. Kokolia. Remember when Kokoli was a complex mob? Kokoli is out, and you have to kill the crystals. Because if you don't kill the crystals, then she's going to do her mega move. So I'll use Zila, and I'll single target them down, alt, which will give me a resurgence proc, and then I'll go fight the other crystal and DPS them down. Use Bronya to give her another turn. That way we can really focus down the damage. I'll probably bring in Pela to bring a defense break. So that way Zila can really slam their fucking guts. Maybe a Ting Yun to put the E on them, give them the extra alt charge so she can shoot, reset, and go again, right? And, you know, or I'd obviously have to bring a healer, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like, you needed to think about what the enemy did and how to beat them. But now it's kind of just like, rather than thinking about what the enemy does, now it more so feels like, okay, I need to make this follow-up attack team work. Okay, I need to make this super break team work. Okay, I need to make this dot team. Oh, wait, they're fucking dead in the dirt. Okay, well, maybe we'll get a buff. Maybe we'll get a character that'll buff them. So, yeah, let me just focus on this follow-up team and this super break team, and hopefully we have enough damage to kill them, right? So, yeah, I'll just bring these 4 characters together because they're meta, and everything else sucks. And it really blows. It does, because it doesn't feel like the same amount of interactivity with the mobs as there once was, right? Like, Svarog summons his giant metal claw, grabs one of your characters. So you're like waiting on the abilities. Oh, he grabbed him, blast him, get the character back, go, bring his shielder because he does tons of damage. But I don't feel that anymore. Now I just feel, oh man, I cleared it in 3 cycles. Oh God, my account must be fucking terrible, right? Or I use dot and it's like, oh please God, let me clear this in 10 cycles. And it doesn't really feel like I'm interacting with the mechanics. It feels like I'm just praying to God I have the DPS. And I don't know how many of people out there feel the same way that I do, but I'm not really worried about, can I respond to the elemental advantage? Can I respond to the mechanics at hand? Now it just feels, do I have the DPS? Because I'll be real, and I feel gross by this. I mean, I literally had to pull for Eidolons to get my dots running because I 12 cycled the MOC. And I was like, fuck me. And then I pull 1 Eidolon for Black Swan, and I cleared it 4 cycles faster. Because it's just like, what the fuck? I mean, I want you to really think, like, there's so many characters back in the day. Gepard comes. He has his shield. Make sure to kill his mobs because then you can get to the weakness bar. Make sure you bring this electric unit because he's weak to electric. But now everybody's weak to anything that you need because you can just impose the weakness on them, which even more limits the creativity of builds that you can do in Honkai Star Rail. I think Silver Wolf was a disaster for things to come. I don't like that system. Now it's just like, Thug You lets you break anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even have to fucking think. It's like the game is built for toddlers. And it doesn't feel like I'm fighting enemies anymore. It just feels like I'm fighting the urge to pull the new unit to make these meta teams where it's like, you're gonna play together whether you like it or not. Timmy, stay away from Mary Sue because you're not on the same team, so you're not gonna play together. And it's like, damn. It doesn't feel like I have freedom anymore. It just feels like a bullet sponge. And it just feels like a DPS check. And it really just feels like Spiral Abyss and Genshin Impact. And that sucks because it doesn't feel like I'm fighting the monsters anymore. It just feels like I'm fighting the urge to pull new characters to make my teams work. And that's pretty much it. I couldn't tell you what the big wolf guy even does in combat. I don't even know his fucking name. I just know that follow-up works really well against him, so I just beat his ass. I don't even know his mechanics. Like Hule, I don't even know their mechanics. I just know that this team beats him, so I'm gonna use him. Right? Or like, do you guys remember when there was the big gorilla? And the big gorilla would attack anybody who used their skill last. So you had to play around who was gonna use their ability, so that way the gorilla wouldn't one-shot him. But there's nothing like that anymore. There's just nothing like that. It's just, oh, okay, I use the follow-up tech team. Oh, okay, I use super break. Right? And that mechanic with the monkey was so scary. And then what happened? They got rid of it because they introduced Fushuan. It's not a strategy that you use anymore to outplay these mechanics. It's not gameplay or skill that you use to plan accordingly. It's, I should probably get the new unit so I can trivialize this fight. And I don't like that. It feels like Honkai Star Rail creates issues and then sells the solution behind a $300 banner. And there's so many fucking characters now that so many other characters are becoming obsolete. Maybe I wouldn't have this issue if I wasn't so frustrated about the state of dot teams in 2025. But it doesn't feel like I can overcome the odds by playing well as dot. Because anybody who's seen me play dot teams understands that I play it very well. And it's one of my favorite teams. I love it. But it just feels like I need to pull the newest unit, or I need to get another Eidolon because dot just fucking dies. I don't think that's going to change. Now, I do want to say this is a very interactive video, okay? This isn't going to be me yapping, me ranting at you guys. I do want to know. Chat. I have about 5,000 people here right now, about 4.8 thousand. I do want to know, is there anything wrong with what I've said so far? Do you guys think I'm just yapping? Is my take dystopian? Or how many of y'all feel like how I feel right now? And I would love to know with a yes if you agree, no if you disagree. So I've been actively looking for anybody who actually disagrees. And I found one right here. So Akum Black, you say no. Okay, so what do you think? What do you think that I'm wrong about? Oh, no, I agree with you. Oh, okay, great. All right. Well, anyways, I tried to find anybody who disagrees with me. And I want to make this very clear. And I've noticed a pattern here where I'll upload videos. Like, for example, there's a lot of videos that I uploaded with Mr. Pokey, for example, where my commenters are going in on me for being too soft, and I should have got him to admit this, or I should have got him to do this. And everything they asked me to get him to do, I did. So I understand that a lot of people are probably only going to watch the first 50% of this and then click off. which obviously is frustrating because I think there's a lot of viewpoints that I think a lot of my YouTube commenters have that just simply aren't real. But yeah, and then he did it again the next day. Yeah, and then we talked to him again, and now he said that it's not going to happen again, which is why I'm putting out this video, right? And so now is the real fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on you. But I mean, I got him to apologize. I got him to admit that he's a hypocrite. I got him to admit it's the company's fault, not the players. I can't help that he lied. What do you want me to do? Hit him? Hey, I'm not his mother. I don't expect my friends to talk to me and lie to my face. And that's why I've been a lot more strict to Mr. Pokey. Because I don't like being lied to. And I don't like hypocrites. I don't like that. And that shit really pissed me off. And I thought we had a certain level of respect, and that's why I kind of distance myself for a little bit. But now I'm giving him another chance, and hopefully this time he actually sticks to what the fuck he's saying. But yeah, this isn't a video saying that I want to quit Honkai Star Rail. No, I'm not going to quit Honkai Star Rail. Not yet. Nor do I have any plans to ever just say it's bad or say that I'm going to quit, because I do greatly believe in the game and I do really enjoy the modes, but it just seems like there's this massive red flag looming over the game because I just don't think it's going in a great direction. Honkai Star Rail 3.0 doesn't feel like a 3.0. Wuthering Waves 2.0 felt like a 2.0. Zenless Zone Zero 1.4, like it felt like a new update. Honkai Star Rail 3.0 just feels like the same game on a new planet, but worse in every single regard. Dialogue's bloated. It's too long to get to the point. Takes too long to establish itself. Yaps far too much. The enemy's difficulty is just the same enemies with no mechanics but big HP bar. It doesn't matter what you're fighting. Just bring the OP teams and you win. And it doesn't feel like I'm playing a game anymore. It doesn't. HSR 3.0, yeah, I could agree. It feels like a downgrade than to what we had in 1.0. And that really sucks because as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, we're going to have to wait another year for something huge to happen. Now, obviously, I want to hope that 3.1 does something different, but it's not doing anything different. It just feels like slop. It doesn't feel like they're innovating. It just feels like they're dampening everything. It makes it feel like everything's getting fatter, everything has more HP, and while I think it's perfectly fine that other people are enjoying the game, and I want to say that very clearly, I think it's great if you enjoy that game. I just don't feel the desire to play it at all right now. And I wish there was something that would hook me to play it, because I don't think that I'm alone in this viewpoint. I think a lot of people are missing that hook into wanting to play Honkai Star Rail the way we used to. I miss the days where pulling a character at E0 and having them equip a 4-star weapon was enough. But now there's so many characters that I feel obligated to pull at E2 and get their S1. And I'm afraid that Aglia might be the same. I've heard rumors that you really need Eidolons on Aglia or to have a Sunday, or they're trash. And I'm really worried about that. I'm really worried about that. But yeah, you need E1. Need E1. Do you agree that the addition of a new path is a step in the right direction? No. I don't think that the issue comes down to make new characters I can play. I think it comes down to make new mechanics that we as players have to think and solve around the enemies that we're fighting. Because right now it doesn't feel like I'm solving an equation. It just feels like I'm running a marathon. And I hope that I'm fast enough to finish in time. And that's kind of all it feels like. It doesn't feel like the puzzle turn-based RPG anymore. It kind of took the strategy out of the strategy game. And now it just kind of feels like well, I sure hope I have enough damage. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Is there anything else that you guys think that I forgot about? I talked about the combat. I talked about the story. Obviously, I think Amphorius is very beautiful. I like the world. It looks nice. Brother, I never not used autoplay because the game has always been brain dead if you had gear. What are you talking about? Well, then maybe you wailed very early on. Yeah, maybe you wailed very early on. I think enemies are interactive, but they will always pull back. People complain when they try to add in mechanics. You don't really see or need to learn the mechanics if you play the favor of the patch. I'm looking forward to future enemies like the last boss when they add it to MOC, APOC. If you have limited resources, it does feel like fun puzzle and combat. Maybe that's it. Maybe my account's just too strong. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe my account's too strong, but sure doesn't feel like my account's that strong when I'm playing Dot. It doesn't, and it really feels like play meta or die. Now we're at 3.0, and there was nothing that really changed. IMO storytelling even regressed compared to previous patches. They added mem to story, March-like character, but instead of talking, it fucking squeaks, which is even more annoying. English VA was mediocre at best. Only good moment was Herta. After seeing 3.0, I'm afraid the story goes in the direction of it's a world of memories. All you see now happened already in the past. You're just reliving it, so just the same shit as Penacony. Yeah, I really feel like the story's gone downhill ever since that Honkai Impact 3rd writer took over it. Because Honkai Impact 3rd writing was just bloated nightmare. Right, and everybody was gassing up this guy as like the be-all, end-all best writer of fucking gacha games, but it's just been kind of sucking balls ever since he was brought on board. And now when I see him, I'm just like, oh, hey, look, it's that ugly retard that ruined the fucking story. But Xiao Ji is the greatest. Yeah, he's just not, man. He's just not. Please pull me up. I'd love to. What's going on, man? I thought he was him, but now he's just bad. True. Nah, I disagree. The ENVA was good aside muted characters. Everybody wants to play a game where half the voice actors aren't getting paid, so they don't voice the fucking game. It's so irritating. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, like the burger was really good. Just ignore the fact that there was no patty or tomatoes. It's like, all right, dude. Yeah, it was a great bun and lettuce. I'm going to play in Japanese. That's probably another big detractor for me. I really enjoyed playing in English. I'm happy you feel like that about HSR because I've been the same ever since 2.3 where I understood that they won't ever bother just like Genshin. The premise was really exciting. The first patch are very cool and fun, and then it falls off. I guess that's the Hoyoverse way. ZZ's the same at this point. I don't even care anymore. I'm actually looking forward to Wu on Enfield only because they aren't Hoyoverse games. I don't necessarily think the characters need to die, but it's true the story just there isn't it. There's no pressure as of the story dialogue. Just feel like they're made for kids, I guess. Most likely we were not even here to talk about 1.0, as you said, was cool. So it's weird the story just going to the last forever, the last time because these gacha games have. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to time you out for 30 minutes for spamming. But great comment. Yeah, don't spam ever again. That shit's cringe. Hoyoverse is finally going to have competition. I mean, 6 new big games are coming out that aren't Hoyo. And I really hope Hoyo learns to innovate and make their games harder via systems that aren't making them take longer. And make the story better without systems that just say, make them take forever. And it feels like Hoyoverse is now just Hoyo bloat. From the mechanics to the gameplay, to getting to the fucking point. It's a shame. It's a shame. I don't want to give up on it because I do love the characters of that game so much. And it will always hold a fond spot in my heart how much I truly enjoyed the characters of this game. But man, oh man, is that game just a bloated fucking nightmare. Made this video just to kind of give a general consensus on what you guys think. And yeah, let me know what you think. I can foresee the same thing happening to ZZZ currently, but I'm going to remain painfully optimistic because that Fall Guys Bang Boo event was just so damn cute. But we'll see. Wuthering Wave's still looking good, exciting for Ananta, Arknights Enfield, other games of the sort. Hoping things are good. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.